folks, welcome back to another reading. Today I am using the Light Seers Tarot. They're the other cards, and today I have laid your cards out in a Celtic cross formation. Your central card is the King of Pentacles. There is no gender in tarot, but this could be describing someone who has recently lost a job that was supposed to have been meant for them, that was supposed to have been easy for them to get, to hold, to maintain. And it's possible that this particular King of Pentacles, on whom this spread is centered, maybe didn't do quite enough to keep the job. They kind of hated it. They kind of hated going. Maybe it's possible this person has lost quite a bit of money, possibly in some kind of investment that was supposed to have been solid at some point, but turned out to not be. This is someone who is not in great, powerful control of the things that make them materially comfortable, regardless of what their gender may be. This is someone who might rely on others when they should be relying on themselves, when they should be independent when it comes to making their material selves comfortable, their bodies. And look, that can mean being in shape, for instance. Like, you're the kind of person who's supposed to be in shape, but in fact, you're not. Or you're someone who's supposed to be in charge of the things that make you physically comfortable. You're in charge of spending, saving, investing. You're in charge of buying property or that kind of thing. You should be, in any case, but this is someone who quite possibly doesn't want those responsibilities because it's too much work. It's possible that you're someone who does not have a whole lot of work ethic, okay? Take that as it resonates. These are words from Spirit, okay? Normally, my spreads talk about getting away from bad situations. In this particular case, I feel like that the person I'm speaking to is their own worst enemy when it comes to material comforts, life, growing a foundation that's supposed to make you comfortable over time as you age. Now, your challenge card is the Two of Wands. This indicates someone who is involved in maladaptive daydreaming. This is someone who dreams about what they'd like to do as opposed to what they would actually like to do to accomplish the things that they dream about. It's much easier to dream about stuff than it is to actually work and get things done. And it may be that you're watching some of your friends, your peers, move on and work hard, and you see how they're busting their ass, and you're kind of mocking them. Quite possibly that could be a thing that's going on there too, because you think that they're stupid for doing this rat race. There may be something about this economy, about our society, about your society, about your culture, that may be contributing to this idea of you can't do anything to really support yourself, so why would you bother? There's more going on here. In the past, someone has talked to you about the path that you've taken. They may have warned you about taking this particular path because they've experienced this kind of thing before, or they listened to their intuition and saw you heading down a bad path and tried to warn you away from it, and you chose to ignore them, and now you're in the particular situation that you are. This person has tried to be inspirational to you. This is a hard-working person right here. With the wand energy, this is someone who takes action and knows what to do and follows their heart genuinely when they do the stuff that they do. This person may have done a lot of stuff for you in the past in order to make things more comfortable for you now, and you've just gotten accustomed to life being like that. You've gotten accustomed to somebody being there, being willing to take care of you. And life wants to push you out of that particular comfort zone. It's talking to me more about where you are consciously, and I see that it's possible that you're not someone who thinks too hard or too long about any one thing in particular. This is someone who's kind of stagnant in how they think. They don't enjoy thinking, for instance. They don't enjoy thinking for themselves. They do prefer others to think for them, tell them what to believe, tell them how to act, tell them how to vote, for instance. This particular person is settled with the idea of letting other people be the way. It's kind of interesting dynamic with this King of Pentacles. Once again, you're supposed to be the person who is independent, in charge of your own life, and not just that, inspiring others to be their own leaders for themselves too. And then ideally, it would be nice if you were to be the counterpart to this particular individual as well. This might be a maternal figure in your life. Take that as it resonates, okay? It's a struggle for you to think independently on your own. It's a struggle for you to think in different ways than you've thought, possibly over years. Also, in your subconscious position, you're not someone who feels compassion or love very easily. It turns you off. It pisses you off, possibly. It grosses you out. You think that that's for women only. Within each individual, regardless of their gender, there is a balance of masculine and feminine, and it's going to look different for everybody. But this indicates to me that not only are you not independent, are you not the king of the things that make you materially comfortable, you're also not in touch with your intuition. You're not in touch with your heart. You try to shut it down because that stuff is for pussies. This is a mindset that you need to shift out of. This is absolutely not pussy behavior, but these are 2 aspects out of 4 that lead to one of the most powerful figures in the tarot deck. In your future, you've got quite a bit of conflict headed your way, some real genuine fights. People are going to throw you out onto the streets. They're going to get tired of you. They're going to get pissed off with your lackadaisical, I guess that's how that word is said, with your lazy behavior. Spirit is very critical of this particular behavior, and I acknowledge that this might be rough to hear. But you also deserve to know the truth. There's the real potential that people are going to fight and smash you down in order to get where they need to be. And it might turn out to be quite violent in the future. You might be one of those people. You might be a victim of these particular circumstances. Sometimes this indicates gang violence to me, okay? In this particular case, someone might attempt at least to do some genuine harm to you in order to get ahead, because they see you as the King of Pentacles in reverse, someone who is not completely independent, who is not their own foundation and isn't providing a foundation for others either. This is your future, okay? This is the 5 of Wands. It's in reverse. Something else you need to keep in mind is that in your advice position, you're advised to come into love, to learn to love yourself, to learn to genuinely love others, to remember how others have loved you, and to consider how you can return that love, whether it's platonic, family, friends, romantic, that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. How can you return that love in spite of these particular circumstances? I don't know that the 5 of Wands is avoidable for everybody that's listening to this, okay? For some of you, it may be, and for a lot of you, it might not be. This might be just inevitable in that particular case, and there's the real risk that your outcome could involve feeling powerless and acting in that powerlessness, in the sense that you do real harm to yourself or to others in some fashion. The Magician is an entity who has all their tools that they need. This is the card that has all the major arcana card, or what I should say, all the tarot suites lined up in front of them in order to use them. You, in this particular case, would be quite powerful when you did damage to the people who love you. And I'm looking at this Queen of Wands, at that maternal figure in your life. There's the real risk, the potential that you could do some real harm, some real violence to this Queen of Wands because you got your ass kicked in these particular circumstances. And if you're looking to avoid all of this, maybe with the exception of this, if you're looking to avoid at least acting out and bringing harm on the people that love you, whom you're supposed to love, you're supposed to act in love. You're supposed to act in emotional and spiritual maturity and say, this is my fault. I caused these circumstances. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to learn from my mistakes. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to grow and move on to better things. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to grow into the upright King of Pentacles, who does take care of myself and of everyone else around me. You know, when I was talking about gang violence, there may have been something that you were supposed to have done as far as a transaction for your particular family, that something happened to it. You may or may not know what happened to it as well. Somehow, whatever was lost was tied to your dreams and your hopes that you can fuel it to take you to places where you really, really want to go. But these are behaviors that are taken in shadow. They are not taken towards the light. They are not taken towards your highest and your best self. And the universe will not bless this. There is a karmic debt to be worked on here. And I hope you choose to take it, but there's the real risk that you could choose not to. No more from me. Thank you for watching or listening, whichever it is. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.